Hello guys, I'm so glad you're here. Today is Meet the Family Mondays, and so today we have Samantha, who is our oldest, and I'm just gonna ask her a couple questions. Okay, Samantha, tell us a little bit about yourself and like where you are in your stage of life and what's going on.
I am 27. I'm married. Been married for 7 years. This year.
Wow.
7 years in August. And we have 3 little girls, 7 months, 2.5, and 4.5. And they're great. And I was a teacher for a little bit, went back to school, and now I'm a nurse, and I work in the ICU. And my husband's in medical school, and he's almost done. Woohoo! Yeah, oh, great.
It's a big deal.
So we have one more year, really like half a year of medical school left, and then I'll be done with that. And yeah, we live here in Spring. We've lived in the Houston area for about 3 years now, in Spring for about a year.
Yeah, sounds good. All right. So, what are several words that would describe you?
I'm a planner, though I'm not as much of a planner as I used to be. I used to be like uber planner, and learned with kids you can't be an uber planner if you want to have any hair left. So I'm a lot more flexible. I feel like I'm pretty purposeful. Like everything I do, I'm a very practical person.
Yeah,
I'd say practical and purposeful. Everything I do has a reason.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What is your funniest memory of growing up in our family?
So I think some of my favorite memories were when we went on mission trips together. Because Mom and Dad went on the first mission trip with me and Josiah to Africa, and then you went on the second mission trip with us.
Mm-hmm.
And
you did much better on that mission trip than I did.
I remember you did great.
I remember thinking, wow, she's amazing. I feel like complaining and it was fun. We did like a camp. We were involved in like a camp in Kenya for kids that were in the Kibera slums, and so they did a camp at this Bible college that we got to help do with the cruises. So that was super fun.
That was super fun. Yeah, and I loved going with my parents. It was super great. So one of the things we did on that trip, we went to this zoo with some exotic animals. And in like the African zoos, they're not like our zoos, aren't like trenches between you and the animal. There's like a gate, and that's literally it. And so we saw these lions, and Josiah, me, and one of our friends, we were like, hey, I wonder how close we can get to these lions, because like in the American zoos, you can't get anywhere close to the animals. Here, I bet we could actually get pretty close. And so we went straight up to this cage, and all that was between us and this lion was just like, it was like a baseball fence, like a barbed wire fence. And the lion was about to eat, so we got to watch it get some food. That was cool. And then as it was eating, its tail was like super close to the edge of the cage. And I don't remember if it was, I think it was me. Was it me or Josh? I don't remember.
I don't know.
I think it was me. It probably was. I was probably bad influence. I was like, hey, Josiah, you think you could touch its tail? And he's like, I mean, maybe. I was like, why don't you try to touch the tail? And sure enough, he went out and he touched it, and the lion didn't do anything the first time. We're like, whoa, that was crazy. You should totally try it again. And he touched it again, and he yanked it this time, and the lion spun around and roared, and you could hear it across like the whole zoo.
Yeah.
And then we immediately ran away. She's like, oh man, what do we do? And Mom was like, where were you guys? And we're like, Josiah pulled the lion's tail.
As soon as I heard that roar, I'm like, oh my goodness, what have they done? Because I was like another place, but you could hear the roar and everybody go, ah! And so, yeah, I'm like, oh, I just instantly knew that it had to do with us.
Yep. So I didn't do it, but I definitely instigated it. It was pretty great.
So basically you're telling on Josiah. Okay. Okay. What was it like to be the oldest of 10 kids?
So, it was busy. It was loud. It was great. It was fun. So when I lived here, we got Johanna when I was 14. And then the 3 from Africa when I was 16. And then Callie and Joseph didn't come till I was already way off at college or out of college. So I was really only here, I guess, for 8 of them.
Yeah.
When there were 8 of
That's
us.
true.
But it was pretty busy. It was good. It was great. It was, I felt like it helped me grow a little bit faster because I remember with Johanna, when the first summer she came, I don't remember why, but she and I shared a room. And so I got to be little mini mommy, and wake up with her in the middle of the night and put her back to sleep and stuff, and so that was cool. Yeah. And then with the other three, they didn't speak English, and so it just took a lot of teamwork for us all to kind of get everything done. And I was driving then, so I got to just take on some more of the parent-like duties. It was a really busy time, but it was fun.
Yeah. As soon as we got home, well, I think as soon as we got home, you got your driver's license when you got the 3. So that was a huge help that they could kind of go and do your thing, and that was great.
Yeah.
How has adoption changed you?
So when I was younger, it was just a really cool thing to do. It's just kind of the crazy thing that our family did. It was really exciting, and I liked having a blended family with all these cultures. And I enjoyed kind of getting the extra responsibility. I thought that was cool. But now as I've kind of stepped back and I've thought more about what adoption is and would we ever want to adopt and stuff like that, I really appreciate it even more and kind of how beautiful it is because it really shows you a great picture of the gospel. With your own biological kids, you'll love them unconditionally.
Right.
And when you adopt, you're choosing to go to great lengths to take this kid in your family that you've probably never met before, you don't really know that much about, to love them unconditionally forever.
Right.
And taking some of our adoptions had special, not real special needs, but they're a little bit different, and so we were able to get them a little bit faster and stuff because they were in the special needs category, which there are a lot of things that can put them in there. And so knowing that even if it was just having 3 older kids or having an older kid or all those things, taking them with whatever they would bring with them, which is really beautiful. And it definitely kind of changed the way I saw family and the way I see family now. Okay. That it's not conditional at all. Yeah. It's a choice you make to love them with whatever they bring with them.
Yeah. So I'm sure they would want to ask, do you guys think you will ever adopt?
I think we probably will at some point. I don't know in what capacity. If it would be international, local. It's something we're definitely always open to. I'm just going to praying that the Lord would make it clear when it's time to do that.
Gotcha. Okay, so what advice would you give a family who's looking into adoption and they already have biological kids? What advice would you give them?
I would probably say, so one thing I really appreciated that you guys did was you always, especially when we were older, always include us into what was going on and asked our opinion. And I remember the night you told us about the 3, because when we set out for the second adoption, we were hoping to get 2 babies, and we're like, yay, more babies, because Johanna was a baby when we got her. Yeah. And then they're like, hey guys, we got a call about 3 kids, and they're at the time I think 2, 6, and 9. Right. And what would you think about that? It'd be 3 instead of 2. They'd be older. They're not going to speak English. What do you think about that? And we were like, let's do it. We were really excited. But I think we all really appreciated that you brought us into the process instead of just being just by the way, you're going to give up your room because we have some kids moving in, it was, we were all on board. Yeah. And you were very clear that this is going to affect money, this is going to affect time, it's going to affect what you can do. Right. It's going to be a family effort, and we all knew that going into it. Yeah. I think that helped a lot. Yeah. And I think the other thing that is really important for biological kids is we had, before adoption ever entered the picture, we just had a very firm foundation of love and security and biblical teaching and stuff. Y'all had just really poured into us. And I think that really helped when things got crazy and we weren't able to be poured into quite as much in that time because there's so much going on, because we already had that foundation laid. And so when everything was kind of spinning, we were all kind of in survival mode. Yeah. Everything didn't fall apart because we already had that foundation of love, security, and just biblical understanding, biblical knowledge. And we had already fostered our own faith and stuff, at that point. Yeah. So I think that was really good. Yeah,
it's definitely a family. I mean, when you adopt, especially well, I guess any age kid, really, it definitely is a family mission. It's not something that the parents can do on their own with the kids not involved, because that will not work. That would be way too hard. I can't imagine doing it that way without you guys' support and just help, really. And when they have a vision for, everyone in the family has a vision for it, then it just goes much better, because there is a lot of, heartache on both sides. I mean, when you bring somebody into your home that's already experienced trauma, they have their own heartache. But when the kids that are already here, they also experience a little bit of trauma, because you're adding other people into their life, and not, it's not possible to be there for everybody all the time. So everybody has to just kind of be okay with that, and that takes a lot of maturity and just a lot of God's grace, I think, to help everybody get through it and to be okay with that. So yeah.
So, and I think it just kind of add on to that. I think it definitely was hard, but we grew a lot through it. I remember like one moment, because I went from like having my own room for a long time to sharing with my 10-year-old sister, Michaela.
Yeah.
And I was 16. And so that was a little bit of a change, because she was a little bit of a punk sometimes. She'll tell you that. I'm not just saying that. Now we're like really, really tight. But
wait to her interview.
But no, we had a lot of fun. But it was a little hard, going from like...
That's a big age difference to share a room.
And I had my routine of, I was doing a lot of school. I was doing like college classes at that time, so I was doing dual credit, and I needed like some quiet space, and there was no quiet space in the house ever.
That's true.
And like waking up to do quiet time, like there really wasn't even like a place in the house that someone wasn't already sleeping, to do your quiet time. And that's when I started waking up really early to do my quiet time, because you had to do it really early before everyone got up. And the kids, I think Carissa was getting up like super early then. That's before we taught them what the number 7 looks like.
What the 7 looks like, yeah.
So they'd wake up like at 4, like 5 or 6. And anyway, but I remember having a conversation with God one day, and I was just a little bit fed up at the time, because I was like, God, it's so loud. I can't think. And I just remember him saying, Samantha, like what else, how else would you have it? I'm like, what are you going to do? Send these kids back? I'm like, no, I want them here. I think it's like, get over it. And I was like, okay. But that conversation's always stuck with me. It's like when you hit like a situation where you're like, I just hate this. Well, he's like, okay, well, what are your alternatives? Is there a good one? If not, then like suck it up, back up, and trust me and move on. And I've kind of just carried that. Yeah. It was just really good. It was a good growth experience. It's not about me. I can deal with a little noise. Yeah. A little bit less space. It's okay, because it's for the better good.
Yeah. We didn't have to convince you to go away to college.
No, but I didn't. I loved living in the dorms because it was just as loud.
Yeah.
I couldn't deal with silence.
Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed the noise after a while.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much. And you'll probably see her again here pretty soon, because I want her to talk about how she does devotions with her little ones. So, all right, guys, have a good day.